If you're enjoying the show and you'd like to get more, maybe you want to get bonus episodes, maybe you want to get episodes early, maybe you'd like to join monthly video hangouts with me, Jeff, and other fans of the show, the way to find out how to do that is to go to patreon.com/wehaveconcerns. Little Playmobil dinner is what that looks like. And we never need to think about the fact that it was a living thing again. This is We Have Concerns. Hi, Jeff Canada.
Hi, Anthony Carboni.
Hello, concerned citizens.
Anthony, we've talked several times about...
We've talked at least 3 or 4 times, you and I.
Yeah, and I'm so glad things are progressing.
Yeah. Normally what we do, and many people don't know this, is we each record our half of this thing separately. We just record an hour to an hour and a half of just random thoughts that are in our heads.
It's like...
hand them off to Rob and make them edit the 2 disparate thought monologues together.
I mean, that tracks.
I mean,
it's kind of like when you play The Wall with and you watch Wizard of Oz. It's kind of like that. It's kind of crazy how well it syncs up.
Yeah, it really is.
And then other times, not at all.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've talked several times about photography and the state of photography and how in this new world of ours and even video, how do you know what to believe in a picture, right? We've got digital manipulation. We've got Photoshop. Well,
Jeff, I always say...
Is truth dying, Anthony?
Well, truth is a feeling. And that's what I always say, Jeff.
Is that what you always say?
If you feel it's true, and this is something I read a lot on Twitter.
Yes.
This is the way I feel.
Right.
These are my opinions. This is my feeling, and my feelings are valid. And based on that and how many times I see that, I think truth is maybe just a feeling.
Truth is a feeling.
Yeah.
I think that's a song that I know from
That's
something.
from Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yes, that's where I know it
That's
from.
what it's from.
Well, digital manipulation of photos is one thing, and one thing that makes us doubt what can be a good photo and what not can be a good photo. And I'm curious about what you feel about that. Is if a photo is taken and then messed with to make it more beautiful, does that detract from the fact that it's a beautiful photo?
No, I don't think so. I think it all depends on the context and usage of the photo. Journalistic photos for news organizations, photos like that should not be doctored, should not be altered.
Unless it's of a doctor.
Unless it's of a doctor.
Right.
Then you can doctor the photo of a doctor.
Right. It's the rule of 2 doctors is what that is.
It's the double doctor rule. And 2 doctors cancel each other out.
That's
then it's just a blank photo. So,
that's why you never want to get a second opinion, because 2 doctors cancel each other out.
Yeah, and then you cease to exist. And if the 2 opinions are the same, like say both doctors say, oh yeah, definitely cancer. 2 cancers cancel each other out, and then you don't have a cancer.
Oh, is that how that works?
Yeah, that's what they call a double-blind experiment.
You wanted to go
This is a science podcast, and this is how it all works. No, but I think if it's a creative photo, if it's a photo for creative usage, some of my favorite photographers do a lot of post-editing on their photos.
There's artistry in that, right?
There's definitely artistry in that.
Right.
Whenever I post like what I consider to be a good, serious, creative photo, which I very rarely do these days, but when I do, you can bet that I've done some editing to it.
Sure.
You know, my videos always have a lot of like color correction and things like that. Like I feel like that's part of the process.
Well, let me tell you about this story sent to us by our friend Mark Nuffer.
Hey,
we know
Mark.
We know Mark Nuffer. This was sent to...
One more and I'll give him an E for the end of his name. That way he'll have enough vowels.
Doesn't have enough vowels right now?
I don't think he has enough vowels right now.
Okay.
Because whenever we bring up his name, it's just like Mark Nuffer.
That's on us, really.
It's like the Steve Martin bit about banjo.
Dr. Hoffenhofer. Yeah. This was posted on our Facebook group.
Hey!
Facebook.com/group/we have
is safe
concerns.
and fun. Keep using it. Nothing's going to go wrong. Hey, maybe find the love of your life on that new Facebook dating app.
Wow.
There's nothing nefarious about that.
Nothing
nefarious.
This is a story about a wildlife photographer. In fact, not just any wildlife photographer, Anthony, the wildlife photographer of the year.
Hey, congratulations to our wildlife photographer of the year.
Marcio Cabral is his name.
Hey, congratulations, Marcio Cabral.
It may be a little hasty in the congratulations. He just got awarded unawarded. He got
dishonorably discharged, is what they call it in
Yeah.
wildlife photography.
He got disqualified. His award was removed. No longer the wildlife photographer of the year because his photo, his award-winning photo of an anteater, they deemed it fake, not real, manipulated. But not in the way we've been talking about, not in that digital way.
He used Facetune on the anteater. The anteater was like, okay, now let me see it. He took a picture. He's like, let me see it. All right. Maybe a little Facetune. Not a ton. A little just the bags under my eyes.
Yeah.
Is what the anteater said.
It was an anteater that had a cat face, like adorable cat face.
It was an anteater that had a strong social media following and was like, this picture is kind of not my brand.
I gotta get my followers to agree to this. This is a picture of an anteater, actually a very gorgeous picture. At night, there's some bioluminescent algae glowing, and the anteater is
it
standing.
algae or is it termites?
It's termites, a termite mound dotted with glowing bioluminescence. So I don't know if the bioluminescence is algae, but it is a termite mound that the anteater is standing next to. And he was awarded the very prestigious award. This is from
a guy named Dave, who's super into wildlife photography. Wildlife Dave, they call him. And he just is real into it.
Just wants to see your pictures.
Yeah, he just wants to see them. Show me all your photos, everybody. Yeah. I'm Wildlife Dave.
This is actually
it's like the early days of the internet when you would be like, oh, I'm just a guy who really enjoys Dragon Ball fan sites.
Yeah.
And I'd like to give you my award for cool Dragon Ball fan site. It's a gift.
I'm pretty sure we have actually won a podcast award from that guy.
Yeah, that guy is definitely in charge of the podcast awards. No throwing shade, but throwing all the shade.
No, this is actually awarded by the Natural History Museum in London.
Oh.
And after they awarded this to Mr. Cabral, they got an anonymous tip. Anonymous tip saying, his photo's fake, bro.
They got a call?
Check that photo.
It was somebody who was using a voice changer. It's like, attention, you need to check into the Cabral photo.
What?
Follow the money.
This is the front desk to the Natural History Museum in London. I think you might have the wrong number.
I have exactly the right number. Check into the photo. And also, when it says $20 donation, is that suggestion? Like, am I going to get guilted or can I just walk in?
Well, we suggest a generous donation if you want to see all the beautiful stuff.
No, I understand that. I'm not arguing about how good the collection is. I'm just saying, like, maybe money's a little tight. Are you going to, like, guilt me or can I just, like, walk? Is it one of these things where it's like a plexiglass thing?
Where
I just drop it
exactly how much money you toss in and we all look askance at you.
Cool.
Also, we're tracing this call.
Okay. We'll look into the Cabral photo, and I'm very poor, and you shouldn't charge so much to get a new museum arts for the people.
So they get this anonymous tip. He says the image is fake. You should look into it. So the Natural History Museum.
He said, I know it's been shopped. I've seen a lot of shops in my time, and I can tell by the pixels.
Well, that's not exactly what happened at all.
Oh.
He says that anteater is dead, bro.
Excuse me?
That's a dead anteater. That's a taxidermied anteater, bro.
Wait, so somebody calls the History Museum and says, yo, that's like a Beanie Baby or some shit.
It's a stuffed animal.
That is definitely a stuffed animal.
That's not a real living creature that was photographed.
That's Arnie the Anteater. He's a Series 3 Beanie Baby.
You can tell because of the googly eyes.
And also the tag is still on.
He's got the googly eyes.
The little heart with the tie.
No, they say this. You got to look into this. So what the Natural History Museum does is they employ some experts in the field to look into this.
Dave calls his friend Steve and Mark, and they come over.
Steve and Mark are like, "Hey, bro, that looks like an anteater to me."
I don't know. It looks good. Give him the gift.
Wait, is it eating ants?
Give him a little award.
It's eating ants. It's an anteater. It's got to be.
Ants isn't glowing though. That
true.
seems weird.
Wait, you're right.
It's fake.
Stuff doesn't glow.
Stuff doesn't glow, dude. Except for the stickers on my dorm room ceiling.
Oh, those are sweet, dog.
Oh man, I made a little galaxy. Right lay back, listen to some fish.
Oh.
That's what glows.
Do you have any pictures of fish?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, good. Can I see
I'm
them?
sure they do. Yeah, I mean, I have a whole folder. None of them are like award worthy, but you know.
Well, I want to get the good ones.
It was basically this anteater or nothing this year, and I'm very disappointed that this anteater is apparently fake.
You're like one of the people that follows fish around all over the country, except it's actual fish.
Yeah. I go touring with fish. I go upstream with salmon.
Upstream with salmon.
I've seen salmon spawning 6 weeks a year, every summer.
You're a real perv, man.
Dude, I'm just a big fan of jam bands and also fish procreation. Those are my two loves.
You don't
jam bands, fish procreation, and Ben and Jerry's ice cream. Those are the three things I enjoy.
The Venn diagram is pretty specific.
Yeah.
All right.
So they take a look at the photo. They bring experts in, and the experts look at it and they say, yes, this is a fake anteater.
Well, it turns out that there is a taxidermied anteater at the entrance of Imus National Park in Brazil, which coincidentally is where this photo was taken. Not at the entrance. The photo wasn't taken at the entrance, but that's the park where the photo was taken.
Motherfucker stole a yard gnome and started taking yard gnome pictures.
He moved it.
He just took these like, it's going to make a great wildlife photo. This stuffed anteater from the front of the park, but in the back of the park. Has anybody tried that?
Nobody's tried it.
Try back of the park. Now this is an anteater.
He looked at the bioluminescent termite mound and was like, you know what this needs? Fucking anteater in front of it.
Well, he was right. It won the award.
It won the award. So the experts looked at the photo and they said there were elements of the animal's posture, morphology, raised tufts of fur, and patterns on the neck and head that are too similar for the images to show two different animals.
Well, also it was holding a sign in one hand that says, "Welcome to Imus National Park."
Yeah.
I'm Arnie the Anteater.
You must be this tall to enter.
Restrooms this way. And so that was like a dead giveaway.
Yeah, well, they don't want to judge too quickly. They had these experts look at the tufts of fur.
What happened was he painted on the sign, "Welcome to Imus National Park. I'm not Arnie the Anteater."
Smart, see?
And it was like,
smart. I'm totally an alive other anteater.
Yeah, I'm a totally alive anteater. So they looked and they saw it and they said, this anteater's in the same position.
Yeah.
It's got the same markings. It's got the same fur. It's got the same everything. What does Marcio say when
they go to Cabral and they're like, "Hey, bro, this looks fake." And he's like, "What?"
What? I said that? What
and
are you
they're like, "Well, you know what would be great?
What?
You know what would be great? Marcio, you know what would be great is if we could see the pictures before and after the award-winning picture, because clearly as a professional photographer, I'm sure you were just cranking through."
No, of course. Like because I know how animal work as a wildlife, and obviously animal walk into frame, animal do things.
You get the perfect shot, but on either side of that perfect shot, lots of imperfect shot.
Sure.
Yeah, so if we could just see the raw images on your phone, your photos, your camera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from the camera.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would just clear this all right up.
Is what it is like I deleted them all because those obviously I looked at them and I said, not award winners.
Yeah.
I said, these ones are not award winners.
You only keep the best, I guess.
Keep the good shit.
Keep one.
Do you know what it is? Is like I just like hard drive space is at such a premium. And like, what am I going to keep every photo I've ever taken?
Google photo has free unlimited storage. You guys,
but I don't like, they're taking our jobs and they're learning about us and they got our personal information. And that anteater has a right to privacy. And I just, what is that? Is that your phone? Is that my phone? Is that a phone?
Is
that
any
three
phone.
phones?
I don't hear
Ringing
any phones.
in harmony? We should answer all of these phones and put an end to this inquiry.
No, what he actually said was actually pretty close to what you said. I wasn't even taking a picture of an anteater. I wasn't there to take a picture of an anteater. I was hanging out, taking a picture of this bioluminescent thing. It was raining. I was there for hours. It was unbelievable. Yeah. And then this anteater walked up. I was like, huh. And I took one long exposure shot and that was it. And that happened to be the winning one. That was it.
Is that how it works?
I literally only took one picture.
It was raining and I was breaking down my gear.
It was the perfect shot.
And I looked away, and when I looked back, there was the perfect shot, and the anteater was just being real still, like anteater do.
Yeah.
You know how anteaters sometimes just stand real still for, I don't know, 30, 40 seconds so you can take a long exposure?
Yeah. And then right after that, they fucking jet so you can't take another one.
What anteaters do, and you probably know this from being the Museum of History and knowing a lot about anteaters, is they do what's called the sonic charge spin. Now, this is from Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And what you do is the anteater ducks down for a long time.
Yeah.
while it's tapping B and it's charging up energy.
Yeah.
And it's real still. And then when it lets go of B, boom, ka-pew,
Right.
and it's gone.
Right.
And they got that from nature. In Sonic is what they got that from is nature.
Sure.
So we all know about that.
Yeah, no, I think that all makes sense. Could you just leave some money in the little...
So this comes with prize money.
No, it's just
money.
It's the money goes into the little translucent box in front of you.
So number one, I hate that you guys are kind of like crucifying me over this and like subjecting me to inquiry. Number two, I hate that you're making me pay the cost of admission to be interviewed about how this is potentially fake.
We only do the interviews inside. So it's a catch-22.
Oh, well, I'm a member.
Not our rules.
See how I have a little member pin. I already paid today.
That member pin looks like it was stuffed.
Stuffed. That's what it is. That would be the scam on that one. Is it was an old stuffed member pin.
His Cabral's exact quote is, "A giant anteater ambled out of the darkness and stayed just long enough to be captured in one single long exposure shot."
Sure.
It was a 1 in a million.
1 in a million. You know,
wildlife photographer of the year. It's how it happens.
Here's the thing.
You can't predict it.
You can, if you were somebody who like paid attention to a lot of like photography contests or like photojournalism stuff, or just followed like a photo blog or even a pop culture blog that occasionally like posts like an amazing photo. You always get like a quote from the photographer that's like, "Hey man, just like right place, right time. Can't believe I got the shot. Wasn't even looking to get this shot." Like it sounds kind of similar to the logic that is used by a lot of photographers in those situations. Like even monkey selfie guys just like, "Fucking monkey took my camera."
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And you see a lot of this where it's like, especially in like photojournalism for like wars or like political photojournalism, where it's just like, I don't know, I was just standing there and the guy like all of a sudden when he was on the campaign trail for just a moment, he looked real tired and pensive.
Yeah.
And I just happened to be
in
there.
front of that tank.
Yeah, it just happened to be. He was just standing in front. I went to Tiananmen Square to pick up a bus pass, and I turned around and there was dude.
This guy standing in front of the tank.
I had no idea people were even angry. What? It
was weird. And I was like,
so
might as well take a picture.
I was just there because I saw Anthony Bourdain went there. Also, I'm a time traveler. There's a lot that was going on that made this photo like, I don't know, a real long shot. And yet somehow I got it. So I could see how Cabral would think like, hey, maybe this is logic that I could use. But the two things together where it's like, dude, you use the stuffed anteater from the front of the park that everybody's seen. Like what the, like I could almost believe you're like, shit, I was breaking down my stuff and up walks an anteater. And so I just went for it.
Yeah.
If it wasn't the fucking anteater, like dressed in a t-shirt and a hat from the park souvenir store.
At least take the anteater to a completely different park.
Yeah.
At least do the extra bit of effort there.
When you get the idea, like that's the thing, you get the idea. And you go, you're driving past and you go, all right, I'm going to run this scam. I'm taking this anteater from this park.
Yeah.
You take the anteater, you drive to another park.
Exactly.
You take photos like, just like the yard gnome thing.
Right. It's like where you buy porn. You can't go to the store you always go to.
No, you got to drive at least 400 miles away to buy any porn. And that's the only way to get porn.
Yeah, there's no other way.
And that's why there's so little porn. It's because of just everybody's got to drive for 6-7 hours.
Yeah.
And that's why there's so little porn.
That's why there's a porn shortage.
So after all of this evidence, after not just the, hey, can we see your photos, but also the, yo, this is definitely the anteater from the front of the park.
Yeah.
What does Cabral say to that?
Well, his statement was, I did it. And he cooperated. He showed them the raw images before and after. None of them had the anteater in it. It was like, this is what I took before, this is what I took after. And then the one magic perfect shot.
What were the timestamps?
Yeah.
That's
a great
what
question.
I want to know. It's literally nothing. And then 5 seconds later, the timestamp is like for the anteater. And then 30 seconds later, it's like no anteater.
This
and
is
that's
like
it.
Serial. We're doing like Serial about a
What about the cell towers? And when was the last time the anteater made a phone call?
Exactly. You're going to love this part. Cabral also provided a witness who said he saw a live anteater. And therefore,
in his life.
Therefore, I saw a live anteater. He definitely took a picture of that one.
Who is the witness?
Probably his friend, Joey.
Steve Cabral.
Steve Cabral. He's like,
no relation.
Yeah, no.
But you are though. You're related. No.
You actually look like Marcio, but with a mustache.
Oh, weird. I had never heard that before.
Yeah, no, the resemblance is striking.
I am a completely different person.
And you're not related in any way.
No, I am not related.
Bizarre.
Because I am American, and you can tell by my American voice, which is a different accent than Marcio's. Also, I have the mustache, and so I am an anteater expert. I can tell an anteater when I see one.
Is that
because I am an expert?
Are you literally holding Arnie the anteater under your arm right now?
This is a different anteater that I brought from home to show that I am an expert. His name is Arfie.
So the official rules say that
there's nothing that says the anteater can't play basketball.
Yeah. The official rules say that entries must not deceive the viewer or attempt to misrepresent the reality of nature.
Yeah.
So he's been disqualified.
But what's reality, man?
I mean,
if I could have you come to my dorm room, lay down and look up at these glowing stickers I have on the ceiling, let me ask you again. What's reality, man?
Oh, good point, man. This is great. Yeah, so he has been disqualified. He has been excluded from the competition, and he will not be able to ever enter it again. You go home. I said good day.
You rolls the dice, you takes your chances, and I gotta say, I'm a little proud of Marcio for getting that far.
For about a glorious couple of days, he was the winner of the Wildlife Photographer of the Year.
I love a scam runner. If there's one thing we've learned on this show over the years, I do love a scam runner.
Yeah.
There's something that's just like, all right, you knew what you were getting into, and you were just
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to shoot actual anteaters.
Is it? I wouldn't know.
I don't know either. That's a good point.
Who can say, really? Not Marcio.
Not Marcio.
Marcio's never done it. What would be great is if Marcio had just never taken a wildlife photo before in their lives. Like if Marcio...
His pictures before and after are like, hey, there's my lunch. Oh, look, I had the eggs.
It's all lattes and eggs and cityscapes and stuff. And it's just like... decided to go out and become a wildlife photographer, and I did it. I was the best there ever was for 3 days. I did it in one.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got to go. I'm Marcio Cabral, best at everything.
Darlene said, I don't care about animals. I'll show you, Darlene. I'm the best wildlife photographer in the world.
I did it, Darlene. I did it.
Yeah, just because I don't want your cat.
This was all for you.
My couch.
Yeah, well, you... like I said, you rolls the dice, you takes your chances, and good on Marcio, but that's hilarious that they thought they would get away with it.
Yeah. He pulled a scam. He tried to get there, but you know what? Sometimes
some crimes.
Sometimes some crimes.
I got no call to action for this one.
What's the biggest scam you've ever tried to pull? You ever tried to pull a scam? What's the most anteaters you've ever seen?
What's the most anteaters you've ever seen trying to pull a scam? Let us know on Twitter. You can hashtag those real wildlife photos. I'm at A Carboni.
I'm at Jeff Canada.
Actually, you know what? Please, if you're in the Discord, if you're in the Facebook, if you follow us on Twitter, please send us your totally real wildlife photos.
I want to see those wildlife.
I want to see completely real wildlife photos from all of you.
The wildest of life.
Hashtag them real wildlife photos. I'm at A Carboni on Twitter.
At Jeff Canada.
And we'll judge them all, and the winner gets just a glorious prize.
Wildlife Photographer of the Year.
Yeah, a prize as real as the photo that was taken.